Right now, the United States is putting Africa to the test. They are deporting convicted criminals, men with no ties to our continent, and forcing African nations to accept them. Some governments are quietly saying yes, but others, like Nigeria, are standing tall and saying no. This is more than immigration. This is about sovereignty, dignity, and the future of Pan-African freedom. Think about it. America, with all its wealth, all its technology, all its prisons, cannot handle its own convicted criminals, so it sends them thousands of miles away to Africa. This is not partnership. This is not cooperation. This is imperial arrogance, 21st century dumping. Just weeks ago, the U.S. Supreme Court cleared the way for what they call third country deportations. In plain language, it means America can take people with criminal records and simply ship them to countries they have never lived in. South Sudan has already received 8. Eswatini, a tiny kingdom, has taken 5 more. And Rwanda has signed a deal to accept as many as 250. Ask yourself, why Africa? Why always Africa? Why should our soil be the world's trash bin? Our people forced to carry the burdens of problems we did not create. Brothers and sisters, this is not new. This is history repeating itself. Yesterday, it was the slave ships. Millions of Africans stolen from their homelands to build America and Europe. Later, it was colonialism. Our gold, our oil, our cocoa, our very blood sucked to enrich the West. And today, it is deportation planes, dropping criminals with no ties to our land. Different century. Different method. Same arrogance. Same exploitation. They tell us it is about security. They tell us it is about cooperation. But we know the truth. It is about control. It is about treating Africa as a dumping ground, a backyard, a place without dignity. If we allow this to continue, what comes next? Today, it is deported criminals. Tomorrow, it could be rejected asylum seekers. And the day after, who knows? Whatever the West no longer wants, they will try to ship here. But Africa must rise and say no more. Because the true face of imperialism today does not always wear chains and whips. It wears suits, it hides behind laws, and it flies on deportation planes. And unless we resist, history will repeat itself again and again. Let us call them out. South Sudan, Eswatini, Rwanda. These are the nations that said yes. South Sudan, still struggling with war, poverty, and fragile peace, accepted 8 criminals who had no ties to the land. As if South Sudan does not already carry enough burdens, America decides to add more. Eswatini, a small nation fighting its own battles with poverty and unemployment, was forced to accept 5 deportees. 5 men, locked away in solitary confinement, sitting in African prisons for crimes they committed thousands of miles away. And Rwanda, a country still healing from one of the greatest tragedies of modern history, has signed a deal to take up to 250 deportees. Not Rwandans, not Africans returning home, but foreigners, imported from America's prisons, given jobs, housing, and healthcare, while many ordinary Rwandans still struggle to feed their families. Tell me, is this justice? Or is this humiliation? When our leaders accept these deals, they are not accepting criminals. They are accepting disrespect. They are telling the world, Africa is still a colony. Africa is still a dumping ground. Africa is still for sale. This is not Pan-Africanism. This is betrayal. And betrayal always comes with a price. Africa is at a crossroads. Some nations have already sold us out, but others are resisting. The question is, which path will we choose as a people? We must unite. We must speak out. We must demand that our governments reject these humiliating deals. Because Pan-Africanism is not just a slogan. It is survival. This is not the time for silence. This is the time for action. To the youth, to the activists, to every African who believes in freedom, raise your voice. Share this message. Demand accountability. Because the future of Africa will not be decided in Washington or Brussels. It will be decided in Lagos, in Accra, in Kigali, in Juba, in every African city, where people are ready to stand tall. So I ask you, should Africa accept America's deportees, or should Africa reject them with pride? The answer we choose will define whether Africa remains chained or finally walks free. If you believe Africa must rise, if you believe Pan-Africanism is the path to dignity, then share this message. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Because this conversation is not about them, it's about us. It's about Africa.